Well, status quo is the hard word here, but I will tell you that I like residential to be residential, commercial. There are some things that I've said in the past that as needed, different things can change. I know that there's always been zoning requests, but I do know the importance of keeping some things the way they are. For example, there's a 5-foot encroachment you have to be aware of when you're putting a building up next to a utility line. I've seen people do that, and I've seen people have a lot of problems because they have done that. It's nice to be neighborly. In my subdivision, it's 7 foot from your property line. So some of those things I think are going to be standard. Unless you do a subdivision, this is how they're going to do it, and then that's fine. So basically speaking, though, it kind of depends on what you're talking about, what particular issue, to how I would feel, and I would research it, and I would go from there. But some things I really think need to be stayed standard just for safety reasons. Fine, because she's right. But one of the things I see that's kind of a problem, and I see this happening to the next city council, so don't take it against anybody that gets elected. Because I believe the city council is going to take it the same way the county did when they just said that they're not going to support the Yellowstone Art Museum, and people were upset. Well, they had to make a choice. And the next city council is going to have to make a choice too. I have publicly come out and said that I'm not for the city owning the Babcock. And I've been there, I've taken care of it. I don't want my tax dollars going to that kind of a structure because I know what it's like. I've been in there more than probably most of you have. So my thought is, we have firehouses. One guy told me you need $25,000 to fix the roof of the ceiling tower caving in. So what's more important, putting money into the Babcock or fixing our firehouse? Well, to me, it's the firehouse. So there's going to be those kind of issues come up. What are we going to spend money on? What do we want to spend money on? So that's my thing. A senior citizen and was in complete sticker shock when I got my last tax bill. And yes, they can reassess your property every odd year. Yes, it's going to go up. I believe that the city would not support any kind of a mill levy or any kind of increase. That's my own personal opinion. So that being said, I'm a parks person. I love parks. My kids have loved parks. Now I love taking my grandkids to Castle Rock Park and our neighborhood parks. It's wonderful. But I think like Two-Min Park, for example, when I've been involved in that a little bit, especially when I was younger and a little more physically able, the people who take responsibility for cleaning up and doing volunteer things are wonderful. And I think we have a community of good people that if stepped up, we could probably get some committees for these parks and get organized some things that maybe we could get done for free. Yes, we have to maintain what we have. We have to mow it, we have to water it. All those things are important. But if we could get some community involvement, I think that would be the best way to save money from the taxpayers, is to do that.
This is going to begin with Ward 4. Name 2 specific issues which you consider priorities in Billings. Short explanation or a solution.
If you heard me speak from the first time I was at the chamber, I'm a utility guy, so I've called the water people out a lot because there's a lot of problems, and people have even called it a debacle, and I agree. We got to fix it. Now, the Yellowstone or Heights Water District, or you can call it county water, they're having some problems. They're probably going to need to consolidate, and they talked about that in our meeting on Tuesday, and they asked me the same question. I don't think we can consolidate, even though we need to, because people don't trust what's happening in Billings with the water department. So the people that are on the Heights Water Service, or what do you want to call it, the county water service, they're happy. They got no problems really, other than they're going broke, but they like their services. So that's kind of an issue there. We got to fix what we have before we can do that. And I've come out and said that I really feel for our police officers. I did a ride around, which is great. He meant you should do that if you have a chance. You sign up to do it. That opened my eyes up to a lot of problems that the police officers are having.
What is the role of city government?
Well, I believe the first responsibility of a city council person is to be able to have the time to show up for meetings, to be prepared to discuss those issues, to read your agendas, and most importantly, listen to what your people in your area or ward have to say, and try and take everything into consideration. With everything else that's been said, my thought is yes, the city council only controls the city administrator, but I think that we need to hold him accountable for what he does and his budget and everything else. And so likewise, I think if that person knows they're accountable for managing their budgets, I would think that he would hold the rest of the city people accountable as well. And yes, there's some things that would be good on a zero budget, but not. For example, it does cost $43,000 to plow the streets for 24 hours one day. So how do you count that guy for being responsible if we have 110 inches of snow like we have some winters? So some of those things will be hard, but yes, I think accountability is important.
Be done. That's a yes.
Yes, absolutely. No, she said no more than 30 seconds. So yes, absolutely. And just back to the other one, the other priority of a city council is potholes. It's right there underneath
When I first heard about it, I thought this would be great, but right now I'm going to tell you that when they do this, and it's going to happen, I think the most important issue is where are they going to put this? So if they put it in a good place, yes. If they put it in a bad place, no. So, location is everything, I think.
Do you feel safe in Billings?
Okay, I will tell you, it depends on what neighborhood you're in. You be on call for MDU in the middle of the night and go to some of these neighborhoods, I can tell you I've been in neighborhoods that I did not feel safe. And sometimes I haven't even felt safe with my wife walking in the morning around our neighborhood. And I said, take your pepper spray. And she does. So there's a lot of issues with safety. And until we correct them, I'm going to say I don't feel safe in a lot of places in town. And you don't go out after midnight. And when you used to have to do that, you're not safe, and I've been there.
Do you support jail expansion?
Yes. Ditto, yes.
Do you support taxpayer dollars being used to house the homeless?
I recently found out there are 600 homeless people in Billings. That's what they're saying, or more. I do not support public money. I think, yes, we need to clean it up. But I'm going to tell people, support those organizations that will give a person a hand up. Most of those people need a hand up. If they want to, they'll change. If they don't want to change. So, respectively speaking, I talked to an officer that told me that he knows more homeless people than people in his own family. To me, that's sad. So yes, it's a problem, but other than law enforcement, I don't know that we're going to have money to actually say we're going to house these people. It needs to be done by the rescue missions and the Salvation Army and the Family Promise and those people that want to get people off the street. That's where people's money should go if you so decide to donate.
Would each of you give a 30-second wrap-up expressing your desire to be a city council member?
I want to give back to my community. They've been good to me. I finally have the time. I'm retired. I can do things. I'm an old guy. I know things. I'm smarter than I actually look. And if I don't know, I will ask somebody who knows, and I will research it. I have researched so many things since I first decided I was going to do this, things that I didn't know anything about. Now my wife's sick of me because I know too much about everything. But I do care, and that's my biggest passion is I care. I want to see my grandchildren be able to survive here and do well, and I care. That's my biggest reason.